I'm not sure why. Maybe it was the gym that they were playing in. Maybe it was the jerseys that they wore, or maybe it was the crappy lighting. But something about this game stirring up an old feeling when it came to rivalry days of old. The Cards taking on the Cincinnati Bearcats and walking away with a victory. We'll talk about it here now. What's cooking? Welcome back into ESPN Louisville Plus. My name is Justin Soforo, and of course, I've got you. Well, it's not Cards, Cats, Bourbon, and Bluegrass, because we're not doing Now We Can Talk Like Fans. We're actually doing Instant Reaction here on ESPN Louisville Plus. And this is going to be my first attempt at it. And I thought, what a better time to do Instant Reaction than walking away from a dub of victory against one of the more hated rivals of the Cardinals. And I'll tell you right now, this will be a little bit more off the cuff, a little bit more just genuine me, emotions, reactions, and how I feel walking away with a victory in a game that started out pretty rough. It was a difficult first half for the Cardinals. It felt like they were just they were Sisyphus, just kept trying to roll that ball up the hill. And of course, the first time nothing was coming. The ball wasn't moving at all. Louisville was getting down quite a bit, and their offense was struggling to create anything. And the Cincinnati Bearcats looked like the opposite. They looked like the top 10 team coming into this game. Their defense, and I'm gonna give credit to Cincinnati and their defense. I'll be honest, I had no respect for Miller and what he's done there at Cincinnati. I didn't really think that they were going to be that great of a team. I didn't really think that they were going to be that big of a challenge tonight. But man, did they show up. And also, it was pretty obvious to see when Louisville was playing against them how long, how big those guys are, and just how good defensively they are. I think their adjusted defense, whatever. The adjusted efficiency of the defense is like number 2 overall right now, depending on what ranking you look at. But anyway, I was not expecting Louisville's offense to struggle nearly as much as they did. And then we saw how it played out. We got to the second half. Guys started to try to turn on. There was that little bit of a spurt. And there's one thing I've learned my lesson on. I try not to emotionally tweet as much as I normally would. I just try not to, because the things that come into my head, a lot of y'all don't like. A lot of y'all get a little bit sensitive and in your feelings when Justin can be a little too critical on the Cards. But luckily, I waited. and let's just say this. A lot of the whistles, I want to understand exactly what these referees were seeing in certain moments of this game, because there were plenty of times, I think there was at least twice, that I saw my guy Ali Khalifa, and we'll talk about Ali Khalifa. He got called for like a screen, or he got called for a foul with his ass. Is that what happened? Because I'm pretty sure your cheeks can't do that much damage to foul somebody. But he got called on it a couple times. Lots of just miserable calls that I just didn't expect. But Louisville walks away with the win, 74-64 in Cincinnati, though not playing at their home arena. Guys that stood out. Obviously, we'll talk about Michael Brown Jr. First of all, we'll say just how amazing is it to have a player of his caliber, of his ability, to go out there and say it for about 70% of the game and say that I'm feeling like Michael was having a bad game. I was not impressed by a lot of what he was doing, but at the same time, that shows you how sneaky quiet he is. Michael Brown puts up 22 points, going 4 for 15 overall shooting and 2 for 9 from the 3-point mark, as well as Isaac McNeely had a bad night overall, but again, able to get some things done. Only 3 points, and he only played about 26 minutes as well. But then we want to talk about the stars of the show today. The stars, and I can't believe the change of how I feel about one of them. Of course, there's Ryan Conwell, who has just been old Mr. Reliable, 25 points, 8 for 15 shooting, 5 for 10 from 3-point. And again, while he was 50%, the team as a whole only shot 38% and really kind of struggled from 3, and not of what we've seen really playing as of late. Did not play that way against Kentucky. And then they were still able to put it together, get to the free throw line, and win this game. the guy I want to give a lot of credit, the guy who I am falling in love with, and I can't believe it. Just the criticism that I threw out there. And I know a lot of people came at me and I understand it, raked me over the coals. I get it. I deserve it. I called him soft. I did. Sanander Frew, I called him soft. And I said that I did not see how he would be able to perform playing against some of these top teams that Louisville will be playing with, especially playing as early as they are, playing Kentucky, playing Cincinnati, they're going to have Tennessee and Indiana and all these other teams that they're going to have to go through. Another rivalry game against Memphis. So Memphis looks like booty cheeks. This is kind of just being honest. They don't look great. But overall, Sanander Frew has become one of the most reliable players on this team. The things that he's been able to do, the finishes he's been able to make, it's astonishing to me. It's been shocking to me to see how much he has come into his own and come into his game and his role as a big man for the Cardinals. Additionally, I do have to talk about Ali Khalifa. And my God, while I love myself some Ali Khalifa, and while I do tend to agree with Matt Kelsey that he is one of the better passing big men that I've seen in a long time, dear Lord, Ali, in a game like this, and a game that the team you're playing against is so they're strong defensively. They're so good at taking the ball away. Why do you decide to gamble on some of the passes that you do? Some of these cute, fancy little bounce passes behind the back, between the legs, whatever it is. Stop it. Cut it out. In these moments, I need you to chill out just a little bit because you're gambling. You're gambling with the game, and you're also gambling with my blood pressure. Some of the times Louisville got lucky. Those weird bad passes would end up ricocheting off while a Cincinnati defender would end up hitting it off. It would bounce off him and somehow end up in the arms of Michael Brown or another Cardinal and being able to finish and score. But dear Lord, Ali Khalifa was gambling with this one, and he got lucky in the end. Other kind of comments just overall in the game, and I do want to say it really did though. The nostalgia of this game felt like for the first time in a long time, because we had those good games with when Mick Cronin was there and Rick Pitino and all that, but that felt like Rick Pitino basketball playing against Mick Cronin Cincinnati. It didn't feel like the Cincinnati of old. And let's not kid ourselves. Miller's not a guy who's going to fill the shoes of Bob Huggins. He is not going to fill you with hatred and disgust and vitriol. Like some of those Cincinnati games that I grew up watching, I hated Cincinnati. I hated Cincinnati as much as I disliked the guys in blue. And I understand I try to be a less biased version of myself when we're talking cards and cats here on the channel, regardless of what some people think. At the same time, when those games happen, I am an insane person. And this game started to give me a little bit of that feeling, a little bit of that nostalgia of feeling like what it felt like watching, a guy, watching Denny Crum take on the old Bobby Huggins days. And to just feel like they were, especially for that first 10 minutes of the game or so, where they were frankly dominating Louisville, it felt like that. It was the first time Cincinnati's ever made me feel that way. So good on Cincinnati. But at the same time, man, is it good just to say I love Louisville basketball? I haven't been able to feel this feeling for years. I almost put out a tweet when we're talking about tweets that would make people angry. I almost put out a tweet saying that first 5-minute stretch or so felt like watching Kenny Payne basketball. And I don't mean real Kenny Payne basketball. What I mean is just the inability to do anything at all. Just at all. like the ineptitude it felt like, but they figured it out and put it together. I don't know what else to say. I love this team. I love what Pat Kelsey's done. I love the guys that he's put together. I love that he's put together so many good shooters that no matter what, one guy can have an off night and you're not dead in the water. Louisville will pull it out and they can end up winning by a decent, comfortable-ish margin to put the game away. And Louisville is a top 10 team, a top 6 team, and only has, hopefully up to go from here. We have other games and we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all our latest videos. And of course, you can follow me at Justin Soforo on Twitter as well. I'll see you guys next time. Go Cards. See y'all.